My name's Pavey, this is Brake Magazine, and you're watching Mini Tip Monday. This week on Mini Tip Monday, we're going to learn the art of doing power slides. Now, power slide's a little bit different from a brake slide because it involves using the throttle to help the bike come further round than you can do with just a brake slide. The first part of learning to do a great power slide turn is to learn to do a great brake slide turn. Now, if you haven't watched it, we did a video a couple of weeks ago. You can find it, I think it's up this side. It might be up this side. I never know. If you're on Facebook, just roll down our list of videos. You'll find it there. And one of the most common questions we've been getting on our YouTube channel is, what's the point of learning to do this? Now, the point of learning to do power slides is they're cool as hell. Everybody's impressed by a power slide. And I think your mates are always going to be jealous. That's literally the main point. There is no other reason. If you can't impress your mates, what are you doing it for? The first part of learning to do a power slide well, once you've got the brake slide turns dialed, is to understand that you need to learn to do it slowly. The most common thing you see with people when they're learning to power slide their bikes is that they're trying to do it quite quickly, they're trying to do it with lots of power, and it's all a little bit sketchy and a little bit hard to control when it's fast. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to slow the whole process right down, find a nice slow corner to learn to do it on. By choosing to do it slowly, you'll find everything is far, far more controllable. All the things that happen in the power slide happen a lot slower. It gives you much more time to react to things. You'll find you need way less throttle and power through the rear wheel to make it slide. The whole process is just much better. Now, the art of doing a great power slide isn't actually that complicated. It's a series of things that need to happen, but they all happen at the same time. So where timing is critical, things become difficult. The first part of that brake slide turn is get that brake skid dialed. So we start riding in a straight line towards the corner, the clutch comes in, and we stand on that back brake and we have a nice skid in a straight line. Then you start to initiate the turn. And the power slide bit happens when the bike is almost stationary. It's got a little bit of lean angle, and at that point, it's incredibly easy to break traction with the rear wheel, and that's what you're looking for. If you just go in and you're coasting quite quickly and you're not really leant over and you're all a little bit in limbo, and then you try to power slide, it's really difficult to control. So when you get to that point where the back wheel is locked, the bike's then over and it's almost stopped, everything then happens. So we're going to transfer our weight from a backward position like we're braking to a really far forward position. So all our weight is over the front wheel. It gives us a huge amount of grip on the front wheel, and that process of changing your weight bias unloads the rear wheel. So it makes it much easier for the rear wheel to spin because there's no weight on it. If you do it the other way around, you keep your weight too far back. You have loads of weight on the rear wheel, so you get a lot of grip. You have no weight on the front wheel, so you don't have any directional control. I think that pretty much sounds like a bad recipe. At that same point, when you've unweighted the rear wheel and your body weight's come really far forwards, then you feed the clutch out and turn the throttle at the same time. It really helps to feed the power in quickly, but not too aggressively, and lets that rear wheel break traction. Once that rear wheel's broken traction and you've got the lean angle from the skid, you'll find quite naturally it comes around. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make with this is that they try to give too much throttle. You'll be amazed when you get the body position change correct, how little throttle you need to make the rear wheel break traction and to do a power slide. Obviously, it's really important to remember that when you move your body and you go to accelerate, you should probably take your foot off the back brake. Now, doing those things, it will naturally happen anyway. It's quite difficult to hold the back brake on, change your body position, and turn the throttle and clutch at the same time. But I have seen it happen. So remember, if you want the back wheel to spin, you do need to take your foot off the back brake. So one of the most important things when we're doing a power slide is safety. Whenever we ride off-road, the clutch is our safety net. It's the only thing that keeps us from careening off into the trees at any point. And as you can imagine, when you're sideways, a little bit leant over, back wheel spinning, probably on the edge of your ability, not covering the clutch and not having control of your bike is a really bad idea. So we always cover the clutch when we're doing this. It means if it steps out a little bit too far, you're a little bit uncomfortable with what's going on, if you whip the clutch in, it all comes back. It's all safe. I promise. So the last point of great power slides is actually then controlling the slide. And the two parts that control the slide and how much the bike steps out and how much it grips and how long you can keep it sliding are your feet and your right hand. So obviously your throttle hand increases and decreases the amount the rear wheel is spinning. If you're too aggressive, it will really easily step out. If you're not quite aggressive enough, it won't spin. So you're always looking to be nice and smooth and find that sweet spot where you can keep the wheel turning, keep the bike sliding for as long as possible. And then your feet left and right control that grip. If you imagine you're going around a right-hand corner and you do your skid to the right, to make it skid, we have a little bit of weight on the inside. And if you keep that weight on the inside, as it starts to slide, the bike will step out more and more. So then we're trying to balance the left foot peg and the right foot peg to keep the bike in that sweet spot. If you want to stop it skidding as much, you change it to the outside a little bit. If you want to keep it skidding a little bit more, you want to make the bike step out a bit more, you put some weight on the inside foot peg. And the last point, the absolute last point of a great power slide, not a good power slide, a great power slide, is that after you've done the slide, you've got to check back over your shoulder, you've got to check that skid mark out, you've got to check all your mates' jaws, see how impressed they are. Don't you agree now?
Yes.
And that's it. That is the art to a really, really good power slide. If you like this video, if you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, hit that like button. Maybe even throw a smash down on it. And check us out. We've got new videos every single week. And remember, guys, life's better when you're riding.